Three, two, one. All right, here we go. Hi, everyone. This is
Okay.
Dan Toner. Lisa and Donna have helped me organize the meeting, and we're here to talk about the open enrollment for the health insurance plans. So certainly I'll ask if anybody has any questions throughout the quick meeting. On my screen, you're seeing a copy of a memo that you should be given that we hand out every year that sort of addresses the health insurance. Welcoming you to the company, talking about the Trustmark plan, which is our medical. Also talking about the United Healthcare, who handles our dental and vision plans. So certainly take a peek at the memo. More importantly, this year, a little change to how we enroll. My office uses a software called My Benefit Link, which means you're going to get an email. And Donna, Lisa, I just sent that out right before the call now. So everyone should be getting an email to basically set up your account, pick your own password. You're going to take a look at your profile, your address, just make sure that's correct. And then you can add dependents or not. And then it's going to bring you right into the enrollment portal, where it's going to show you if you're covered today. It's going to look something like what's on the screen here, where it's going to show if you're covered and what your deductions are. It's basically just reminding you of what coverage you have. You can modify your enrollment, meaning you can waive, you can add dependents, you can cancel, you can do anything you want. Otherwise, the portal's going to automatically renew you. And then my team will notify Trustmark for the medical and United Healthcare for dental and vision if there's any changes. Otherwise, you're going to sign with a mouse or your finger, depending on how you're looking at the document, and then you're done. When you're finished, there's going to be a little dashboard where you can see sort of a receipt about who your dependents are that you added or not. And there's a little section called My Documents. What's most important is take a peek at this company file section. These are tons of materials letting you know that we're taking out your contributions pre-tax, our SPDs, our notices about HIPAA and COBRA. All these participation notices are out, the CHIP notices. These are the benefit summaries, SBCs, so they're a little bit more detailed. So I'm going to go over an Excel spreadsheet with some basics right now, but all of the details are listed on your portal in the dashboard section. Okay? So real quick, we're going to pop into the Trustmark plan. The Trustmark plan, remember, is super unique because unlike a traditional HMO, PPO, EPO that makes us look for a network, Trustmark offers a plan that allows us to see any doctor we want. So we're no longer limited to using a network. So whether or not I'm in Florida, Jersey, New York, California, it doesn't matter. I can see any physician. And what they do, guys, is they actually reimburse doctors based on a Medicare rate, which really doesn't mean much to us, but they actually pay whatever the Medicare rate is, plus about 20 to 40% higher. So a doctor should be welcoming this because they're actually getting paid better than they would when they see Medicare people. Bottom line is, Trustmark has been around for a long time, and the fact that you can see any doctor you want may be new to people. Trustmark recognizes that, and they make a lot of outreach calls to a doctor. Donna, I know you've emailed me today saying you may have an employee that says their doctor's not familiar. Well, guess what? Trustmark will help us with that process. They'll actually make proactive calls to say, hey, doc, this is a health insurance plan. Our members can see anybody they want. Here's how we're going to reimburse you. So let Trustmark get involved in case you have any problems with experiencing service. Okay, Don, you want to make any comment on that, or is that because you and I have talked about that over time?
Yeah, I think that's a very common question for our employees, because when you call, they generally will say they'll put you on hold and sorry, we don't take Trustmark program. So
yeah,
and when they call, do they say, like on the card it says Trustmark? It's like United Healthcare is pretty, or Aetna.
Mm-hmm.
Our plan is called Trustmark, a Trustmark company. Is that what we should be telling the doctor's office?
That's a matter of a branding thing. Their Starmark name is really becoming more of a Trustmark is the name of it. Trustmark is called a national administrator. And any business can hire an administrator to just run its benefits. Certainly you can We can hire Aetna to do it, or United Healthcare, or Oxford, or Cigna. We can hire anybody, but Trustmark does it at a more affordable rate. And the fact that they don't hamstring us by making us choose networks makes it certainly a freer plan with more freedom. But Trustmark, believe me, they're cognizant of the fact that a doctor's office is very familiar with the last 30 years. I'm in a doctor's office. I usually see a Blue Cross logo. I see an Aetna logo. They're familiar with that. So they'll make a lot of outreach calls to help the members. This is super important. Any employee or dependent of American Layout, if you're having a problem, let us know. We call our Trustmark rep and we let them make a proactive call to the doctor's office to explain, hey, we're a national administrator. You know who we are. We'll pay the claims. This is how it works. Let them do that prior to you going to the doctor. So when you show up, they will not be an issue.
And it doesn't matter, Florida, New Jersey, it's
Correct.
national.
Nationwide.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So from a structure, we haven't changed the plan design. So the good news is this year it's a very small percentage increase. And I know the company pays a good portion of the premium on behalf of the employees. That contribution is staying the same. So even though it's I think it's like a 4 or 5% increase, the company's paying that. The employees portion is not that bad. We looked, as you know, Donna, we looked at every carrier. It would cost us more money to go to Blue Cross or Aetna or Cigna or other companies. So I think we thought Trustmark was good for us for one other year. That being said, if you look at the screen here, I'll just give everyone sort of a sample. I'll try to blow up a little bit. When you're seeing coverages, when you go to a PCP, your primary care, you're simply paying a $45 copay, whether or not it's a primary doctor, whether or not it's a specialist. You don't need referrals. You pay $45 every time you see a doctor. The only time you don't have to pay is when you have your annual routine care. Those are covered at 100% for all health plans. So your routine, your annual well visit is free. Other than that, you pay a $45 visit if you get sick, primary specialist. Other things that you pay a copay for. When you go for urgent care, you have a $65 copay. When you go for the emergency room, you have a $500 copay. Big difference between the two. So for those, on the call today, try to go to an urgent care facility, whether or not you're in Jersey or Florida. A health insurance plan is always going to design their coverages to make it more affordable for you to go to urgent care center as opposed to the emergency room, because it costs a lot of money to go to the ER. There's a big difference. It's almost 10 times as more. So go to urgent care if you can. On the X-ray and lab work, you pay nothing. If you have an MRI, CAT scan, or PET scan, we call that imaging. There's a $300 copay. And now I'm going to talk about certainly the larger claims that like hospital and surgery bills. If you have a hospital and surgery bill, that's where the $1,000 deductible comes in. Once you pay that, Trustmark is going to pay half of the bills, 50%. You would owe 50%, but the maximum out of pocket, called right here on line number 7, MOOP, says that catastrophically from January through December, you can never pay more than $7,350 worth of stuff. All of your copays count towards that. So if you paid $1,000 at the pharmacy, you have a $6,300 left in your out-of-pocket. So everything accumulates to your out-of-pocket. If you happen to pay $7,350 worth of stuff, you owe $0 till the end of the year, and then January 1 it resets. So you'd only be close to hitting that out of pocket if you had major bills like hospital and surgery. For things like doctor visits, X-ray, lab work, emergency room, urgent care, everything's a copay. So it's going to be very difficult to hit the $7,000 because the plan is so rich in a lot of areas. Okay. At the pharmacy level, you'll see a couple of different levels. $20 is the generic, $75 and $105 is the name brand. So you're always incentivized to use generic drugs. These are what's called 30-day copays. If you're using a mail order service, call customer service on your card at Trustmark, because they'll incentivize you to get mail order, meaning send the drugs to your home over a 90-day supply. They will save you money if you use the mail order as opposed to showing up to the pharmacy, but you don't have to use the mail order. They'll just simply save you money. Okay? So that plan is the exact same plan as we had last year. We're not changing any of it. So I'll open it up to questions now before we do the dental and vision. I know a lot of people have questions about the doctor. And again, you can go to any doctor you want. In terms of the coverages, doctor, I'll just open it up now and see. I know Chris just joined us. Let us know if you have any questions.
Hi, Chris.
Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late.
No late. We're recording it, by the way, so we're going to send a copy out. Okay?
Okay, fantastic.
So if
Dan, I have a question about the prescriptions because I have a problem.
Okay.
So you have to meet the deductible of, what is it, $250? So I actually can't get generic because I need rescue inhalers.
Okay.
And they're telling me my cost is like $100, $200 because I haven't met my deductible. So is that right then, I guess?
The deductible will not apply to generic drugs. It applies to name brand drugs. And unfortunately, so what we're seeing is, from a cost perspective, we're seeing a lot of insurance companies design plans that you have to meet a deductible. When you wake up on January 1, you have to meet some form of deductible for your name brand drugs. And a lot of those plan designs are there, Lisa, because they're trying to encourage members to look for generic. Now, that's tough for people that can't take generic drugs, because it's almost like not fair, because it's like, wait a minute, why do I have to meet a deductible? But the insurance companies design those plans because so many people can take generic. So they're trying to incentivize people that says, well, if I had a $250 deductible and then pay a higher copay for name brand, or no deductible and $20 for generic, maybe I should look for generic. So they design the plans that way on purpose. So there's nothing you could do about it, only to note that it is a calendar year deductible. Once you meet it, then you only pay copays every month.
Okay. So it's January to December then?
Correct. The plan does not run from June to June. It runs on a calendar year. And you can see that benefit period, it runs on a calendar year basis.
Okay.
So then new hires that are joining, let's say in June, July, August of this year, they'll have that $250 deductible, and then January 1st, they'll restart?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay.
And it's no different than if they did run the plan. Sometimes an insurance company, Donna, will run the contracts from June to June. And if somebody was hired in May, they'd have to meet it in May, and then it would reset in June anyway. So at some point, from a timing perspective, once you get in, then it sort of feels like a 12-month for it, but it's just a design of the insurance. Some, like here in New Jersey, Blue Cross Blue Shield only gives calendar year. So some carriers only do that. Some give you the choice, like Oxford gives you the choice. Hey, American Layout, do you want to run it from June to June or January to December? In this case, Trustmark, your carrier, they just do everything on a calendar year basis. Okay. Good questions. Anybody else on medical stuff? Keep in mind too that on your Trustmark, you can log into the Trustmark. I think the website is Trustmark SB SB for small benefits, trustmarksb.com. You can log in with your ID and see your claims, like where you are in relation to your out-of-pocket. Download an ID card. So if you ever need help getting in touch with Trustmark, and by the way, customer service will help you too. If you want to call them and say, hey, where am I in relation to my out-of-pocket? How do my benefits work? They're always there for you as well. But clearly I am here too. Anybody else? Okay. So if you think of anything.
Just one question, Dan. So what is the best way if we do the process. If an employee has a doctor that they call and they say they don't take Trustmark, to contact me, contact you. Do you want me to, what's the best way?
I think to let them contact me, and what we'll do is we'll speak to our Trustmark representative and ask them to make an outreach call. Trustmark has a piece, Donna, that I will send you after this call, that this comes up often, and they have a proactive piece, an employee communication piece. So I'll send that to you. And it's really helpful to say, what if my doctor says this? They tell you what to do. Ultimately, what they want you to do is call customer service and say, hey, my doctor's saying this, would you call? And they're supposed to do that.
Okay.
Again, they know where they are in the United States in terms of the prototypical. Everybody's used to a Blue Cross and Aetna logo. They know that. So they know they're unique and they're prepared to do that. Now, whether or not they do it or not, that's where I come in.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'll make sure to send you that piece as soon as the call is over. On the dental, I think it's a 5% increase, which on a dental is like a $2 increase. So it's usually very inexpensive. Usually the renewals are pretty good. So we have what's called United Healthcare. It's a nationwide what's called PPO. That means you can see dentists that are in the United book or outside of the United book. It's nationwide coverage. You are always incentivized to see in-network dentists. Why? Well, let's say this plan pays 100% coverage for preventative and diagnostic, and the plan pays 80% for basic, which is items like fillings. Well, what that means is you're going to owe 20%. If you go to a United dentist, you're going to owe 20% of a lower number than if you went across the street to a dentist that didn't take United. Your 20% is going to be of a higher number. And that's what I mean by you're always incentivized to try to use a participating, but you don't have to. Just like your medical, you can go anybody you want. Everyone that participates gets $1,000 a year of reimbursement. So if I went to the dentist in the spring and I had $150 worth of stuff, and then I went in the fall and I had another $150, those $300 were paid at 100% for me. I have $700 left to do things like fillings or something like that. So you get a bucket of $1,000 for everyone participating. So if you're married with 2 kids, you get $4,000. Everyone gets $1,000 from January through December. And that's how dental works. On the memo that I brought up before, on the earlier part, and Chris, I don't think you were on for this. There's a memo that came with the email, and I did talk about how to find your dentists and what the website is. So I did sort of reference that. So take a peek at that memo. It talks about how to find dentists. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Same thing with Vision. While Vision has an out-of-network, I will tell you that United has a pretty big Vision provider list throughout the United States. So I don't think you'll be out-of-network on a Vision because they have so many different participating. But it's based on, Vision is sort of a combination of a copay and a cash reimbursement. And what I mean by that is you'll see at the top, you'll see things like frequencies. These represent months. So if you can have an eye exam every 12 months, you can get lenses every 12 months, you can get frames every 12 months or contacts every month. So basically once a year you can do these things. The copay is when I go see a doctor, if you have a medical condition, Trustmark pays it. That's medical insurance, like glaucoma. But if you want to get your eyes checked up for routine maintenance, that's when you need a vision plan. That is not covered under a medical plan. That's why you would want to purchase a United Vision plan. You will pay a $15 copay once a year to have an eye exam. When you do things like contacts or frames like hardware, you will pay a $30 copay, and then they pay the balance for you. And the cash is a reimbursement that they're going to give you for things like frames. So for example, I can go in and get a pair of glasses where I'm going to pay a $30 copay for the frame. I'm sorry, $30 copay for the lens. But then they're going to give me a cash reimbursement for the actual frame. And a lot of the time they give you a 20 and 30% discount on top of it. So it's very common you'll bring your insurance card, you show them the pair of glasses, they'll tell you that you pay a copay for this and reimbursement for that. So this $300 pair of glasses is going to net you $42. And so what happens is you're getting a couple $100 of benefit. I think the premium is $5 a month for vision for a single. It's very inexpensive. So the question is, do you want to give them $60 a year to probably get the equivalent of about $300 or $400 worth of stuff per participant? That's usually how a vision works. And for that reason, it's a very commonly purchased product, very inexpensive premium. Okay? There's no change in premium from last year. United issued a 0% increase. So that plan was $5 and change last year. It's $5 and change this year. They did not increase the rate. This is your time to purchase a vision plan. If you waive, you're not allowed to buy it until next June, unless you have what's called a qualifying event. I didn't need it this year because I'm covered under my spouse's plan, but then my spouse lost coverage. That's a qualifying event. So you need a qualifying event to join mid-year. Otherwise, you have to join on June's renewal, or you're a new hire. Any questions on vision?
I have a question on dental.
Sure.
I signed up for my UHC and I see the rather long list of claims that have been made by the dentist that I've been going to for the past year, but I don't actually owe United Healthcare that money, correct?
You are correct. You owe the
Okay.
you owe the provider.
Dental provider, okay.
Correct. So all carriers, think about it this way, whether or not it's Trustmark on medical, whether or not it's United on dental and vision, they have the obligation on their websites to show you that if a claim came in, what the total charge was, what they did with it, and how much you owe. That's called the explanation of benefit. And online, it's like an instructionary piece that says, hey, Dan, your dentist billed $1,000. But United Healthcare, keep in mind, if you went in network, you get a discount. They may take a $1,000 bill, knock off $300 as discount, and then we only have to worry about the $700 left. Then they paid 80% of that. So I owe 20% of the 700. So those are all instructionary pieces of paper that they send you to help. Now they're tough to read, grant you, but customer service can help you. Hey, I'm reading an explanation. I don't know who I owe to what. They'll tell you, but those things are telling you who you owe the money to, which is usually the provider. And it should say
Okay.
it right on the statement. Great question.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Keep in mind too that I talked about the portal. Remember too that on my portal, you can actually see when you get there and when you're done enrolling, go to that My Document, and this S31 is the actual benefit summary for the dental plan. The dental plan is here. Sorry, the S31 is the vision, and then the health plan. These are all like 10 to 20 page documents to give you tons of information about the plans. I know I just showed a spreadsheet, but those are your full benefit summaries for all the plans. So Donna, our goal is just to keep track. I think I put open enrollment until next Tuesday. I mean, technically speaking, we don't, we have until probably the end of the month, but I think we have to have some form of cutoff so we could tell each insurance company. So I picked next Tuesday. If you think you need longer than that, let me know. But this gives the employee the rest of this week, the weekend, and even Monday if you and I can touch base, and we'll just track down anybody that didn't go in. Just make your elections. If anybody has a problem accessing, they didn't get the email, let me know. We'll help people log in. And that's very easy to just get in there and just take a look at your benefits and let me know if you have any questions.
You'll be sending the emails out to the employees today?
I hit the send button like 2 minutes before this meeting started.
Okay. And it will be coming from you, Dan?
It's coming from my benefit link.
I didn't get one.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Yeah, we didn't get it. I'm checking my junk too. I don't see it there.
Mm.
Just give me 1 second.
I need to check mine. I said.
Okay, I just did it again. It's weird. I'm getting a little, like, as soon as I hit send emails, it's giving me a little blank screen. So maybe there's a little delay on my side. So I'll make sure that goes out in the next 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you just explain the balance bill protection submission? Because I think for new hires, that's really important. When they get a bill and they can call if they have a question about the amount of the bill, right? The balance bill pay submission.
Yes.
You've used that before, correct?
Yes.
Absolutely. So some of the protections, so we're talking about the medical coverage, right, with Trustmark. So Trustmark has a flyer that says, obviously, if you look at your health plan, which I brought up on the screen, they're guaranteeing you that from January through December, the most you'll owe is $7,350. Like if you're a single person, that's the most you can have. You may have a $100,000 bill at a hospital and surgeon, but the most you owe for the year is $7,350, and they guarantee that. And what they're saying on the balance bill is if you have a provider that says, well, we don't agree with the rate that Trustmark reimbursed us, they don't want you to worry about it. They have a process that they want you to contact them. They have attorneys. They'll go right to that provider and say, look, we paid based on the reasonable and customary statistical average. They take ownership of that. If, as they start that battle with the provider, they put a clock on. It's like a 60-day clock. They negotiate. If they lose the negotiation, they simply pay it because they don't want you to go into collections. So that's what their process is.
Okay.
In the past, years ago, some of those fightings used to go on for 6-7 months. And then people start to get annoyed because you don't want any sort of collection notice. So they hired a firm about 2 or 3 years ago that says, look, we're going to negotiate. And basically what they try to do is they try to beat up the provider for the best rate to save you guys money and them money. But if they lose that battle, they don't want you guys having an outstanding bill. So at the end of the day, you only owe the copays and deductibles. They may pay more, but they're willing to take that burden over 60 days. So they just want to be notified. They want you to notify them so you don't have an issue. That's basically what the process is.
Okay. All righty. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you're reading that. Did I send you a flyer on that, Donna? Because they have a communication piece.
Yes, I do have the flyer.
Okay, perfect.
I can
All right.
send it out.
Yeah, you got
All
it.
right. Anyone have any questions? We're good.
No.
All right.
Good.
No, I'm good.
All right,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Dan.
You
Thanks,
got it,
Dan.
guys. Have a great day. And Donna, we'll talk over the next few days. We'll just monitor people, and I'll find out why my send emails is just has a blank screen here.
Yeah, we haven't gotten the
Yeah, I didn't
email
either.
again.
Yep,
So-
you'll have it probably within the next 10 minutes. I think it's probably on my side. It's probably maybe it's my connectivity here it's not sending it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Everyone, have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.